Let's look at what the stories are as displayed on the front pages of the various newspapers. And myjoyonline.com, they've summarized those stories for us. We look at the front page of the Daily Graphic. 9 convicted for illegal power connection. And we have 9 out of 14 people put before an Accra Circuit Court over the weekend and convicted and fined for illegally connecting electricity to their homes and business outlets. Next story, government doctors resume negotiations today, and we know that's good news, has been good news to a lot more people, actually the rest of us, because when we go to the health facilities managed by the Ministry of Health, the Ghana Health Service, we don't get attended to because the doctors were on strike from the time they declared it till yesterday. That's on Sunday, so we'll see how that goes. 3 died in fire in Daboya, and 3 people were killed by fire, while a 4th person sustained severe burns when a 5-story bedroom house in which they were living caught fire at Daboya in the northern region. Interesting. Nana Kunedu Ajiman Rawlings proposes e-voting to avoid challenges with voters' register. The former First Lady has underscored the need for the country to gravitate towards the establishment of a national electronic data infrastructure, which will make the introduction of electronic voting in Ghana easy. The point is that has become inevitable in some courses, and we just know that perhaps it can be implemented in the next election. But subsequently, as we're developing as a country and our dispensation is also tightening up and developing, we'll have no case or course of action than to gravitate towards that as well. We have the General Telegraph. We have the Daily Guide. NDC boys spill beans over Togolese voters, and some disappointed youth of the governing NDC in the Volta region have finally confessed their sins, revealing how they recruited Togolese nationals to vote in Ghana's 2012 and previous general elections. And Obuo collapses, president of the Musician Union of Ghana, buys Osei, known to many of us as Obuo, on Sunday morning, collapsed while going through a keep fit exercise on the University of Ghana school field. This should have been read by Gladys Oredo, because basically, if it collapsed, according to a statement issued by the Union's head of communications and special project, Ahuma Bosco, or can't say Daddy Bosco there with that very statement. Police assist Langas at Amasaman. The Amasaman District Police Command has been accused of assisting Langas to cause mayhem in the Gan West District of the Greater Accra region. And we know that the issue of Langat is always a subject that has become very thorny, has always been with the current land tenure activities or system we have in our country. A very thorny issue as far as that is concerned. We have the General Telegraph on the main front page. We have Parliament set to lose experienced MPs as Backbin 6 others bow out. And it's now clear that the next election will miss the services of more experienced parliamentarians who have declared their intention not to seek re-election as the country prepares for the next general elections in December 2016. EC gives ultimatum to political parties, and we know that it will come to a head when they are supposed to make their submissions or recommendations on how to prepare a credible voters register ahead of the polls next year on September 22, 2015. We'll see how they are able to do that and what sort of submissions. And we know that the media is always on with its best sources to give us many of the insights as to what really the recommendations of the political parties were as far as their submissions to the Electoral Commission. And we'll see how that goes as far as that is concerned. We go to the Business and Financial Times, and GNPC urged to list just on the Ghana Stock Exchange to ensure that it also remain very much in business, and we're hoping that this very discussion would also be scrutinized a lot more further to protect the investment of the Ghana National Petroleum Corporation. Government narrows fiscal deficits, and government tightening fiscal position in the first half of the year after exceeding its revenue target for the period by more than 770 million Ghana cedi, despite falling short on donor support inflows. The next business newspaper, as summarized on the front on the page, myjoyonline.com, is Business Day, Ghana. It says Bank of Ghana descends on microfinance institutions. Government rejects monopoly in e-toll system. And those are the stories we have from the various newspapers on the portal myjoyonline.com. We'll have to look at some of the other news portals, and on City FM, clean voters register before election 2016, and Kodeo urging the Electoral Commission. Then we also have MPP's Hajia Fatih arrested for attacking Afokos, unemployed psychiatric nurses to be posted, and Mahama to sign $260 million ICT deal. We have other stories like Usain Bolt beating Gatlin to win World 100-meter title. It was very interesting. It came to a head, and I know that Babatana will be giving us a lot more head start and insight into that very victory by Usain Bolt over Gatlin over the weekend, just on Sunday, so to speak, and it really was interesting. In the Bedness Stadium in China, Beijing, China. We have other stories. Izan Kuma doing his thing on the strings on Saturday Live. If you can play the instruments, you can play everything, I guess. Good. GFA does not owe grants salary arrears, according to George Efrie, who is the chairman of the Black Stars Management Committee. And he has denied claims that the coach is owed anything, based on media speculations, really, as to what they are talking about, and especially concerning questions being raised about the overstay of the Black Star coach when he went outside the country. But we're told that he went outside the country to monitor Ghanaian players across Europe and elsewhere around the world. We also have Graphic Online, and we have unemployed graduate tackled First Lady for job. And apparently it was an event, and he was able to break through the security protocols and submit his CV, so to speak, to the First Lady and said, look, this is my CV, I want a job. Very interesting. I'll say how dramatized it would have been, that is if we had seen it on TV, though. People love Chelsea losing. That's Mourinho reacting. Match of the day when Chelsea played West Brom and said, well, people would have loved Chelsea to lose, but good that they won because they deserve it. Yes, and we have other stories there. AJ refutes claims on child's entries incarceration. We also have Vice President calls for new development paradigm in Africa, and 3 die in fire in Daboya. But you have a picture there of the Minister for Employment and Labour Relations, Haruna Idrisu. Government doctors resume negotiations today. 9 convicted for illegal power connection, and police hold assemblyman candidates over shooting. And and so we'll see how that goes. But let's look at okay, so we have a lot more. You have Nana Kunedu proposes electronic voting to avoid challenges with register, and we have new voters register doesn't guarantee credible polls, and that has been attributed to the CDD. Well, so we'll see how that goes as far as that is concerned. Okay, so those are the stories we have on the various front pages or news portals as we have been able to bring you this morning. And that way, next we'll bring you a lot more sports. We'll bring you the latest action from the run-up of various league results as we have it not only in Africa but also the rest of the world, and also that very IAAF Athletics Championship meets in the Bedness Stadium in Beijing, and we're going to have my colleague here, Baba Tando, with a lot more, and it's sports up next.